Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tammy's Channel Chats. I'm glad that you're back to hear what our guides have to say about some questions that have been addressed to me and given to me by you as viewers. So thank you so much for that. And I encourage any of you that want to send in some questions, please do so. You can put them in the comments on the YouTube. And I'd be happy to see what kind of response we can get for you from my guides. So I'm Tammy Langowski. I am an intuitive advisor to your questions. I work with clairaudience and clairvoyance and really all the clairs. So I've been doing this work for over 30 years and giving readings for over that time as well. And really enjoy doing what we're doing. So I do have some questions for us today that I just wanted to share with you that a viewer did send in. So again, thank you so much. And thank you for all your subscribes. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, so the first one I have today is, how do spirits express love? Humans can touch, kiss, and share, but wondering, how do spirits express love? They love by being who they are. The energy of love. So when I kind of assume, like, what you're thinking is, when we leave our bodies and we're back home, how do we share our love with others? How do others' souls feel and spirits feel the love that we have for them? Because there is an essence about you that is always home-based. That shines forth, you see, when you are back home, heaven. So that the others around you are feeling your vibration of that magnificent source of love. So there's not much you have to do. You are just, they're showing me this just like energy is just pulsating out, our inner core of love for others. So you may be able to, let's say you cross over and you meet your spouse, let's say that transition before you did, and you're wanting to share your love with them. Yeah, all they're saying is your essence is enough. They will feel that vibration. I'm going to use the word vibration very strongly with that. That's really about what it is. That vibration of love is enough. It says everything. So that's really what it is. It's your vibration, your energy that you'll have there that, others will feel from you on that. It's a great question. Okay. So I like this one too. Do guides get frustrated? I think we've all thought this before. Do guides get frustrated when the human they advise consistently does the opposite of the message sent? So yeah, in other words, do our guides get frustrated when, okay, I'm telling you this, I'm helping you with this, and you're totally ignoring it and you're not hearing me? Do our guides get frustrated? They said not really frustrated. It's more of an understanding. They will do their part in getting the message to you. And then if you choose to not listen to that and go down a different path, well, then they also understand that choice is very important for your growth. So whichever way, that you look at it, no, we don't get upset. They just said, we don't get upset. We understand. We wait patiently and we continue to advise and we continue to support you in any way that we are able to support you and allowed to support you, because some things you need to learn on your own. So guides, let's say, yeah, there is a specific lesson that a person keeps repeating. And, maybe it's how they talk to somebody or how they don't listen enough. I'm just using some examples. Like maybe they're not a listener. Let's go with that. And so maybe you're whispering in their ear, try to focus on them, listen to their words, and yet they're still not doing that. What happens, guys? What do you do when that's happening? We wait patiently for another opportunity to let them know. So you see, we are very, very patient. We are patient. We are loving. We are the most patient parents one can imagine. If you can imagine the ideal parents that, anything their child ever does, Yes, they will direct them and be a good parent to teach them, but they will be ever so patient because they know their baby is learning and growing and sometimes has to do it in their own way and on their own timeline. Wow, what perfect parents that would be, right? So our guides are a lot like that with us. So so now they don't get frustrated. Sometimes they have that sense of humor though, and they may joke about it. Um, I just go back to when I remember when I was first channeling with my guys and my clairaudience was really popping, and I was understanding that I have this ability and all. And I would ask my guys stuff, and I remember them saying at night they finally told me to go to sleep. They said, "You need." How did they say it? They said something like, "Yeah." I was just like, "Okay, you need to go to sleep now." And they kind of chuckled when they said it because I was, one question after another, just asking them all these things. So that's what I mean. They'll have a sense of humor in how they deliver it often to them, but yeah, they never really get frustrated. They just remember. Imagine like the perfect parents that are just, oh, like, okay, I'm gonna, redirect them, and I'm going to tell them the way, and what is, what they need to know as a parent needs to tell maybe a child, but that, there's this complete understanding and unconditional love. Unconditional love. That's what your guides have for you. So they get it. They've been human too. They just tell me again. Most of them have been in a body. So they understand the human experience and sometimes how we just got to go do it on our own. I often said, geez, if everybody, I mean, really almost, I think really good advice for any child growing up, teenager growing up is if you always listened to what your gut says, your intuition tells you before you make a decision to do something, you'd be having a pretty easy life for the most part, you know. You'd be sailing. But many of us didn't do that. We tested things, and that was part of our growth and what we needed to know. So just saying though, but if we really listen to that gut, our guides may be talking to us and we'd be doing pretty good. Okay, so thank you for that question. um I like that. So when a guide has nothing to do, like the person that they're serving will say or helping, um so if I'm sleeping, if I'm doing other things, and our guides, don't need to be right with us. So what do they do? Do they save energy? I like how you said save energy. That's an interesting question. So what do guides, what do you do when I'll use me as example when I'm sleeping or I'm on the astral or whatever. Oh, we're always in communication. That's what they said. And this would be true for all of us. We're always in communication. We don't need to really save energy. Certainly we can be out of somebody's energy field or away at times for a brief time. Time is irrelevant, so there's really no time. But we are always involved somehow. Not and understand, not like telling people what to do, like not telling you what to do or things like that, but like, so when I'm on the astral, when I'm sleeping, what's going on then, guides? What's your job then? What do you do? We talk to you in your sleep. So in other words, when I'm out on, traveling, dreaming, are you always in my dreams? No, not always in your dreams. Those are your dreams, unless you invite us in for counsel, or it's appropriate to give input during the dream. You see, we help you with your dreams often. That is another way we communicate with you, or shed some light for you. So while you may have your own dreams, we may also be helping to bring about pictures to you while you're in that state so that you may see more clearly for yourself. You know how many of us have had dreams that were either prophetic or they really helped us. I mean, they just really helped us like see the difference, of how we felt or help to make a decision about something. So and dreams, remember, you can start to ask to be more clear, to remember your dreams more before you fall asleep, that you would really like some help in having dreams that remain with you, that you bring back to a conscious state. If you're one that says I never dream, you do dream. You just may not be bringing it back to a conscious state. So you can work with that a little bit and enhance that a little bit. I used to do that way long ago when I was first really interested all about dream work and all that good stuff. So you can put requests out there for that. So that's the answer to that question. And let me see here. Let me do another one here for you. Okay. Okay, interesting. Soul pods. Is this a closer connection than energy connection? Soul pods. Not necessarily, they're telling me. Soul pods, happen when you have certain people in your life that are close to you. So like family, you could call that a soul pod. Family dynamics, family souls that we have agreements with to come back and forth in a lifetime with, or to have many lifetimes with. Is it, I'm just reading the question again, is it a closer connection than energy connection? I would say, I'm assuming energy connection, I'm assuming here that you might mean is like with anybody else that we have a connection with. And then we have soul pods. Well, they're telling me that everything actually is just equally important. You just decide to do it differently. Some are going to be the bigger players in your play. You're the director of your play. You're going to have your main characters, which you could consider the soul pods. Then you're going to have your extras and people that have a fleeting cameo moment, maybe. So really, it's just kind of up to you. But no, it doesn't mean it's necessarily less energy with others. But you could say in some ways, I guess it is kind of with the soul pods, because you might be with them, tied with them a little bit more, as family may communicate with, not all families for sure, but some families may communicate a lot with each other versus some good friends that they may have. They may be more in contact with them, whether it's through siblings or parents or something like that. So I guess I will backtrack. They're saying that, backtrack and say yes and no to that. It is sort of a closer understanding. And why, guides? Why do we choose some people really to be in our soul agreements with, versus, let's say, a really good friend, that you have? Much to learn, much to learn, much to learn. You see, the friendship you speak of could be one that's there for healing and like a good, massage. They help you, they support you. Your family dynamics often are those that are, let's get to the core of workshop here. It's a workshop. And we're going to really work on specific things that we need to see about ourselves, and to help maybe in agreement that we most likely had with another family member, to help shine some light for them. It doesn't always turn out as we would think. It doesn't always get wrapped up. Often it doesn't get wrapped up with a nice bow at the end of the lifetime and say, did that, look what we all did for each other. Now, they said in some ways it is, it may not appear that way to you here. So an agreement, let's say with a family member in particular, I'm kind of going off now on something a little different and deeper into this, but an agreement with a family member, and if it doesn't get wrapped up with a nice bow and there maybe is separation, doesn't mean that some of the lesson hasn't been learned or presented to each other. Because sometimes agreement is just, we're going to keep exercising and keep showing, out of love. It's always contracted initially out of love for each other, even though it may be a real conflict. It may be very conflicted and maybe even toxic in this lifetime. But it was yet another opportunity to set boundaries, perhaps, to communicate and have that opportunity to communicate, which is very difficult for all of us, sometimes the confrontation kind of idea. So all of that is really important work. So in some ways we could say a soul pod, I mean, that's how we're getting it, a soul pod. But a soul pod really is souls that have really decided to come together I hate to say for some serious stuff, but some ways it is. It can be fun too and lighthearted. Versus, I'm going to say again, like the friendship you have that's there for really that support and brings that lighthearted energy to you. It's the reprieve from going to school, you know. So anyway, I hope that kind of answers that for you. So I'm going to leave us with those questions. And again, thank you so much for bringing those to me. And if this makes you think about any other questions that you might want me to take a look at for you, my guides and I, then we'd be happy to do that. So send them in. Okay. So I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving, by the way, and a wonderful holiday. And so take care. And until we meet again, love life. That's what I hear from our guides. Love life. Decide you're going to love life. Okay. All right. Have a great day, everybody.